What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and Terence Crawford, 38 wins, no losses, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'8", with a 74-inch arm reach, and WBA welterweight world champion, Cuban star boxer, Yordenis Ugas, who is 27 wins, 4 losses, no draws, 12 wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'9.5", with a 69-inch arm reach, heading into a massive showdown, a massive unification showdown with undefeated, unified WBC IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Earl the True Spence Jr., who is widely considered by many to be top 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. He holds the WBC and the IBF titles, 27 wins, no loss, no draw, 21 wins by way of knockout. He is 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach at 32 years of age. With that said, Yordenis Ugas and Terence Crawford, they both respond to rising, upcoming welterweight title contender, star boxer, Blair the Flair Cobbs, losing to ALEXIS Rocha last night in stoppage dramatic fashion. He got dropped, then he got stopped in the fight in the 9th round, okay? And leading into the fight, Blair Cobbs, Blair the Flair, he looked up to WWE Wrestling Hall of Fame iconic superstar Ric Flair, and he named himself Blair Flair after Ric Flair, and he talked a lot. He had a lot to say about Errol Spence, a lot to say about Terence Crawford, a lot to say about Jerron Boots Ennis, a lot to say about Virgil Ortiz Jr. He just had a lot to say overall. And now you go into a fight with ALEXIS Rocha, who is not a world champion. He's never fought for a world title nor won the world title. He's in that 2nd or 3rd tier of fighters, not the upper echelon. And you did all this talking about the upper echelon of fighters in the welterweight division, and then you lost bad. So Terence Crawford, he responded, and he said he did all that talking, all that running his mouth to get embarrassed and look silly on national TV, okay? That's what Terence Crawford had to say. Yordenis Ugas, he responds, and he don't speak much, and he stated that, "I'm a Cuban fighter that doesn't speak English very well." He stated, but the one thing I can't stand is a fighter who boasts and brags and does a lot of talking and can't back it up. Wow. And he says, I don't like those fighters. I can't stand those types of fighters. So Terence Crawford goes in on Blair Cobbs, who only had 16 fights in his career, 15 wins, no losses, 1 draw. Okay. So he's not and 12 wins by way of knockout at 32 years of age. Okay. 5'10.5", 5'11", with a 73-inch arm reach. Okay. Southpaw fighter. He has a lot of flair about him, pun intended. Okay. And, I understand talking his way up, building his way up, trying to make a name for himself because, again, he is 30 on the wrong side of 30. Okay. And he hasn't had a world title opportunity. He's never fought for a world title, and so, I understand he feels like he's up against the clock and he got to be vocal, but he did it in the wrong way. Okay. He was calling out guys and getting personal. So Terence Crawford said all that talking and been doing, shaking my head and look silly. Okay. I'm paraphrasing. Okay. And like I said, Yordenis Ugas, he don't say much about anybody. Okay. Yordenis Ugas is never vocal. Very vocal. He don't say much of anything, and like Yordenis Ugas said, he don't speak English, so he's a guy who doesn't speak English that well, Yordenis Ugas to say this is pretty telling as well, so people are looking at Blair Cobbs, looking at his situation, not being successful after doing all that talking, and you got to back it up. Okay. If you're going to talk in the manner he talks and you're going to, be vocal and not be able to back it up. No, you got to back it up. You understand? You got to be able to, Floyd Mayweather was brash. He was very vocal, but but he was able to back it up. Okay. You had guys like Prince Nassim Hamed. Okay. He was very vocal, but he was backing it up. But it's funny because as soon as Prince Nassim Hamed lost, he never fought again. So Yordenis Ugas said, I'm a man of respect. I don't like to see these clowns, boastful fighters. I despise them. Wow. I'm a Cuban fighter who does not speak English on my way to my second consecutive pay-per-view, but without disrespecting any fighter. That upsets me. He said, but I earned my respect. And the night of the fight, I'm a warrior. So Yordenis Ugas, when you got Yordenis Ugas going in on you, okay, Yordenis Ugas doesn't, like he said, he doesn't talk about any fighters. He's not very vocal in that manner. So when you got Yordenis Ugas coming at you, and Yordenis Ugas feels like, you was being disrespectful, then you was being disrespectful. If Yordenis Ugas goes out his way to let the world know that you was being disrespectful, then you was being disrespectful. Again, Yordenis Ugas had this to say, quote, I'm a man of respect. I don't like to see these clowns, boastful fighters. I despise them. I'm a Cuban fighter who does not speak English on my way to my second consecutive pay-per-view, but without disrespecting any fighter. That upsets some, but I earned the respect. Okay. So he's saying that you could earn your respect in the ring. You don't have to get disrespectful. And if you want to talk up a fight, you don't have to get personal. Okay, so that's what Yordenis Ugas is saying. You don't have to disrespect nobody. And if you do want to be vocal, you want to trash talk, but you don't have to disrespect anybody to do so, right? You can earn it in the ring. And so when you got Yordenis Ugas coming out, that speaks volumes. Now, I will say this though, it was an action-packed fight, Blair Cobbs, he didn't lay down. He did come to fight. It wasn't like he quit. He didn't quit, but he wasn't able to perform at the highest level against a guy in ALEXIS Rocha. If you're going to talk that he's talking, you should be able to beat a guy like ALEXIS Rocha. Okay. And if you can't beat that type of guy, you understand what I'm saying? Then, well, you need to go back to the drawing board. Now, again, like I said, it was action-packed. He was competitive. He was letting his hands go. He didn't lay down. He got stopped, and when he got stopped, he didn't even know the referee was the guy in front of him, and he hit the referee with 3 left hooks to the body. 3 hooks to the body. Left, right, left, and so because he wasn't even aware who was in front of him at that point in time. So that's how out of it he was. So he got to go back to the drawing board. He still has somewhat talent. He's got to work his way back. It's ironic because he got to work his way back to where he currently was right now. You understand? And that wasn't very far when it comes to the sport of boxing. Like Errol Spence stated when he talked about this. Errol Spence, he stated, I'm en route to hold 3 belts. And if I'm not successful, I'm still leaps and bounds ahead of him in his career. And he's older than Errol Spence. So that speaks volumes, okay? And so with that said, I do think, maybe a fight with, a rematch with ALEXIS Rocha, maybe he could fight, up and coming fighters, Rashidi Ellis. That's a good fight to try to get his name back on track. He's with Golden Boy. Rashidi Ellis is with Golden Boy. He needs a fight. Rashidi Ellis, he beat ALEXIS Rocha. So maybe, he's been out the ring for far too long. He just needs to get active. Or maybe there's just tuna fights that he's looking for, but he did a lot of talking, and in a short period of time, he went viral for about 2 weeks the first time in his career. And then he got on the stage with the viral moment when the lights were at his brightest, and he failed. He failed to produce. And so now you got to go back to the drawing board, and you got to do it the right way. And, you have to focus. I don't think that he's a guy that's going to zip it. I think that he's a guy that's just going to be continuing to talk, continue to be who he is, and look to sell his brand and his name. But you got to be victorious when you're doing so. You got to win. You got to live up to it. You know, see, like I said, Prince Nassim Ahmed, once Barrera beat him, we ain't never seen him in the ring since. You understand? Marco Antonio Barrera beat Prince Nassim Ahmed, and, you know, he just was never the same guy because the aura invincibility, you know, and, you know, the talk went out the window because now people see who you are. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, your brand and your name, it takes a serious hit. And so he just wasn't the same guy anymore. And he just didn't compete. You know, he did have one fight after the Marco Antonio Barrera loss, in which he got a unanimous decision, 12-round unanimous decision over Manuel Calvo. But that was just for him to end his career in a win column. You understand what I'm saying? That was simply just to get back in the win column and not completely end his career on a unanimous decision loss to Marco Antonio Barrera. So he got back in the win column and he walked away from the sport of boxing. So let's see what happens next with Blair the Flair Cobb. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.